This is Charles Maybe. I'm your instructor for your Religion 100 class at Oakland University. I wanted to say a few words to you as we get the class underway in this introductory section. I think that probably one of the most important things for you to keep in mind in an intro to religion class is that we don't take any particular confessional point of view here. We don't say that this way of worshiping or this way of celebrating or this way of understanding God is correct and another way is incorrect. Really, the introduction to religion is just a objective view, as objective as we can make it and as your textbook can make it, of religious phenomenon. So we look for things that are in common in the various expressions of religions in the world. We find that a number of things crop up in a particular context and crop up in another context, and they may be a different word used, or there may be a different concept in specifics, but generally speaking, a given religious tradition is trying to get at the same basic idea, no matter how it's expressed specifically. So this is not a confessional approach, and that's one of the differences between religious studies and theology. Theology is written from the standpoint of the believer. We're not coming at it in a state university from the standpoint of a particular believer or a particular orientation. That means that we're interested in symbols because symbols have this kind of flexibility to go into and out of various expressions of religion, no matter what culture. Religion is, generally speaking, attempting to say something very positive about life, about the life force that animates all of life. And it, again, can use different words and concepts, but basically, religion, in one way or another, is trying to promote the energies that give life to us all, and even more than human life. At least that is true in a number of traditions. Religions get at mysteries, things that are not immediately evident on the surface level. So symbols are used in religion because symbols are open-ended. Symbols are one thing that stands for another. So basically, symbols really lend themselves to being used a lot in religious expression, because religion is always saying, in one way or another, there's something going on more here than meets the eye on the surface. Life is more than we know it. And your textbook makes a point in the beginning as well, I think in chapter 2, that religion is dealing with sacred space and time, meaning space and time are not even. 1 hour is not necessarily exactly like another hour because certain things can be celebrated, can be recalled, certain events that stand out, that go beyond the ordinary. And religions love to capture those things and to repeat them in celebration and ritual and worship, depending on what the religious tradition is. But somehow or other, religion always leaves room for the holy breaking in. and bursting apart the normal way that we understand life. One of the points made in the first couple of chapters of your book is that there is a fundamental difference between nature and culture. Nature is what is given to us, what we experience without regard to any particular cultural embeddedness or beliefs. Culture, on the other hand, varies, of course, around the world and in various times. And culture is made up of economies, the way that people relate to each other, the decisions they make as they relate to each other, how they relate to each other, and social life. One thinks particularly of family life and extended relationships in communities, and ideologies, fundamental viewpoints about key ideas that animate life, that give life direction and meaning. And those two things interact with each other in religious studies. And ultimately, culture helps us determine how we view the givenness of nature. Another real brief point, just to kind of get your mind oriented toward religious studies here in the beginning. The kind of approach that we take, which again is attempts to be objective, and I'm not going to at any point in this class tell you what I believe, and that is nothing that would be of any particular interest perhaps of you, or certainly of any benefit to you. But this more objective approach that we're striving for in this class is a product of the last several hundred years of Western thought, the period of time we call the Enlightenment. And what that means is really, at its core, there's a distance between us, the ones who are studying religion, and the expressions of religion that we're studying. So we understand, like a scientist, we understand ourselves pulling back and analyzing to the best of our abilities what's going on in a particular religious expression. So with those words, I'll let you go here in the beginning module of the class and read Nancy Ring's very readable textbook introducing you to the study of religion. As you know, there will be a quiz, and then you have an opportunity to write a little essay after you take the quiz that will do nothing more than give you a chance to raise your grade. You're not going to lose any credit by writing that essay. But the idea of the essay is once you get general principles from reading Nancy Ring's book, then you kind of attempt to apply those principles to a particular figure in religious studies. And that's basically the format that we use all the way through the class. So with that, I welcome you to the study. Work hard and do well in the first quiz. And I think you'll find this to be a very rewarding experience. You can text me. All of that information is on Moodle. You can email me. You can call me. So I'm always available and here to help guide you through the study of religion. Enjoy.